Hey, I would just, you had a topic about Juan Soto, and I know that I'm a fan of Juan Soto, but I love the way he plays. To me, he's the left-handed version of a Miguel Cabrera and Albert Pujols. And I wanted to say, you got Ohtani that is already locked in. He cashed in Acuna and Mookie Betts. Acuna, obviously, Atlanta took advantage. Now, I'm not going to use the word took advantage. Let's better wording. In his early age of his contract, they locked him up and they got a great deal. And Mookie Betts. So Juan Soto is those top 4 players in baseball. He has to cash out and get booked and get his money because he can't. It's just for respect for himself. And when you look at the other elites, you're like, hold up, I'm a generational talent. You know how good you are. So. I want him to stay in New York. I'm not a Yankees fan, but I want him to stay because he's local. You can go see him. You can go check out. And his family is actually, believe it or not, I don't know if you guys know about this, but many of his family members actually live in New York. His father attends almost every single Yankee game, and he loves the town. But I want him to get paid. I want him to break the bank because sometimes Yankee fans have a difficult time accepting that he is a better player than Judge. And, I know this is Judge's team, but he's a better talent, and he's a great team player. And there are people concerned about his defense. He's not playing left field in Petco Park. He's playing right field in Yankee Stadium.
I will tell you this. You don't have to worry. He's going to get paid. He's going to get a record amount of money. And I'm not quite set to say he's a better player than Judge. Because, okay, Judge is a 300 hitter who hits 40, 50, 60 home runs, and to me is a Gold Glove level outfielder and right. So Soto is great at everything. The only thing that Soto's better at Judge at, he was born later.
That's a big deal, though.
I know it's a big deal, but in terms of their talent level, you can't just come out and say he's a better player than Judge. He's 25, Judge is 32. I get that. But Judge, in his best year, is just as good as Soto in his best year. And Judge, for the last, 3 weeks, has been better than Soto. I think the attractiveness between the two of them is that they're both so generational, and they're in the same lineup, and a pitcher has to navigate that. But just don't easily say, well, he's better than Judge. He's 7 years younger than Judge, but not necessarily better. They're different. And Judge is a better defender. So where exactly is he that much better, Don?
Just at the age. And maybe there's some analytics that you could dive into because, again, the numbers don't pop the way they do for Judge. He's not hitting 50 home runs.
Right, he's not a home run hitter.
But you look at the fact that he's younger, and I think Judge is a better defender. Let's not forget that, too. But when you're talking about better player, that what he's accomplished a lot at a very, very young age, and let's face it, 5 years from now, what's Aaron Judge going to be? Even if you're very optimistic, he's going to be a very good player, but he's not going to be what he is now. You wouldn't think. But Juan Soto 5 years from now might be better.
He'll be 31. Brian in Milburn. Brian.
Hey, how you doing, Michael K?
What's up?
This guy, Peter. I forgot. I'm sorry. Listen, the guy just called you a few minutes ago and said Juan Soto is better than Aaron Judge. People are so recency biased. People are weird, man. The man has 62 home runs, MVP of the league, one of the greatest outfielders on the planet Earth. And you really gonna sit there and say that?
I corrected him, Brian.
That ain't weird. I'm so glad you have him. Man, there ain't no Yankee fanboy stuff neither. Them are facts. He was MVP last year.
Judge is a Hall of Fame talent. I mean, that's all there is to it. The only question is staying on the field. That's it.
Well,
that's it.
He's a Hall of Fame. His career's on a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, the numbers don't lie. You're absolutely right, Brian. But when we talk about better player, you can't undo the fact that he's significantly younger, and he came off a season which played 162 games. He played 153 games the year before, 153 games the year before. Like you feel like he doesn't have any injury problems, Michael. He plays. So he plays every game for the most part, and he's younger. So that it's okay to factor that into better.
No, but we're not talking better long term. We're talking better today. Is he? I mean, you can't just hands down say Soto's better than Judge. I mean, Judge's numbers over the last 3 weeks, nobody in baseball has been better. So his talent level is on a level with Soto, if not a little bit higher, because he's a home run hitter and hits for average. So, I mean, you can say, well, Pete Alonso hits more home runs than Soto, but he's a 220 hitter.
He's also not the defender. But, hey, here's where this is what makes it interesting, because what do they always look at, Michael? What stat do the analytic people look at? WAR.
OPS and WAR.
All right. Well, Juan Soto's 1.9, Judge is an even 2. So,
and Judge started off the season terribly.
Well, that still counts as something. I mean, it's still part of it. So the stats that they look at. See, that's the thing about Soto. And now, listen, you know how I feel about analytics, but there are some analytic people that will look at numbers that we don't look at. We look at the home runs, RBIs, all that, and NRIs. But there are people in the analytic world that see numbers in Soto and they start throwing Ted Williams out. So he's not nobody. He's right there, and the fact that he's younger and the fact that he has played more games per season can factor into him being considered better by some.